So Tara, how are you?
Very, very good, thank you. I feel very blessed to be back in Amsterdam.
Yeah, because you are here in Amsterdam a lot, aren't you?
I have been over the last few years, and I've got a lot of friends here, so I don't always come for business, I come here for pleasure. It's there's no other city, like a capital city on earth, that has the same spirit as Amsterdam. It's very relaxed, everyone is so friendly, so I'm really in love with the place, yeah.
Before we're going to talk about your music, I wanted to go back a little bit to when you were a kid.
Yeah.
It's hard because you're more than a musician, but I was wondering, what was your first musical memory?
Oh, my first musical memory, it's really strong. I was probably about 2 or 3, and my dad had a microphone. It was nothing fancy, okay? It was just like you just stick it into the record player, and he let me use the mic. And you know, like kids have Wendy houses. I don't know if you call them Wendy houses here, yeah, like the kid's house in your own house. So I was like, he was trying to get the microphone back off me, and I'm running around the Wendy house, like I'm like, no, mine. And I was fascinated. I don't think I could sing then, but just hearing my voice from somewhere else, and it's such a strong memory.
Yeah.
How old were you? 2 or 3, and I've never been. He wouldn't allow me to use the microphone after that because I think it was precious, you know, because it was new.
Did your parents play music?
No, I'm the only one in the family that does anything in the arts. But my dad, there was a very different beginning for them, you know, because my dad's parents were Irish. And it was very racist against Irish people in England. Like it was very difficult if you were Irish to get a job. No one wanted to employ you. So he grew up with like not the same chances that I had. So I think that's why my dad, especially, anything that I wanted to do, he would give me so much encouragement and would try and make the opportunities for my dreams to come true. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like my hero, my dad.
So when did you get into, because you performed in a musical, Les Misérables.
Yeah.
And then how did you get into the musical, singing and dancing?
So, I mean, I always wanted to sing. It's, I don't know why, I just always felt it was the thing that was my life, you know. And I was bullied at school, like very badly, and I actually had a stutter, and I became very, very shy and withdrawn. And so my mum, she knew that I loved music, and she saw in a local church they were doing like after school workshops for kids. So I was 8, I went with my little sister, and I was so shy that I didn't want to go in, you know, like she had to literally push me, and I used to put my hair over my face, I wouldn't talk to anyone. And but I really enjoyed it, and it brought me out of myself. And the guy that ran the workshop, like after like 2-3 weeks, at the end you could do your special thing. So some people played the piano or did a dance, and I got the confidence and I said, I'd like to sing. So they said, oh yeah, you know, Tara's going to sing for everybody. And after that, he spoke to my mum and said, like, your daughter actually has talent. Like, there's an audition for Les Misérables in London, and I lived in the countryside, like 2 hours from London. Said, you can take your daughter. And then I got the part, and massive fight in my family of whether I should be in show business as a child. Like my mum was really, really against it. My dad was like, I was crying, like, please. So my dad got his way, and then I did it for 2 years, and it was the start of my journey.
Why do you think your mother was so concerned about you going in a show so young?
It's like, I think she was worried that I would be like one of those really horrible children, and they both worked full time, and I had a younger sister, and it's a big commitment, you know, for the parents, because they couldn't afford to take time off work. We weren't a rich family, so leaving work to then early to then get your child to like get on the train for like more than an hour into the city, wait around while they're performing, get the last train home, and they did it for like 2 years. They made it work. So it was a big like, it was hard for the family, and also my sister, they were worried that she wouldn't feel as special. So yeah, there were a lot of things into consideration.
You're older now. Did she feel less special than you?
I think it was hard for my sister. Actually, I didn't realise it till recently, because I was like doing things on TV as well when I was quite young, and so when if we went to a family party, like I was very shy, so I didn't want the attention. I just wanted to sing, you know. But a lot of people would come up to me and give me attention. But then at the same time, some people thought that I would be very arrogant because of this. So they would give me a really hard time and give my sister all of the praise and almost like not talk to me. So it was really strange, yeah, but I think it was difficult for her.
By that time, were you already songwriting?
I used to like sit in my room for hours writing little songs when I was very young, and it was like a passion, you know, but I don't think they were very good. And then I went to the Brit School when I was a teenager, and I did musical theatre for like from when I was 9, and I loved being on stage and stuff, but I realised when I was a teenager that I didn't want to just be a character. I wanted to try and be true, you know, to myself, and so I'm still kind of learning and trying to improve every part of what I do, you know, and every time I do a co-writing session with someone, I think it brings you to another level, you know. They open your mind in a different way or influence you in a different way. So yeah, I'm still like trying to get better at everything, basically. I'm a student of life.
Because I was about to say, before you started writing songs for your own solo projects, you wrote a lot of songs for other people. How did that go?
Well, I didn't have really any contacts in the music industry. I knew I wanted to be an artist. It took me such a long time to get to this point. And so I did everything. I studied dance. I was like a backing dancer for pop artists. I was a backing singer for a lot of like rock bands. I toured and some pop artists mainly in the UK. And then one day I did a vocal session. I used to do lots of sessions, and maybe it was for a songwriter, and I would just come in and sing the song, and then they would use that song to pitch it for an artist or to a label. And then one song, there was they hadn't written like the middle A. In America we call it the bridge, so it's saying middle A in England. And I was like, oh, you haven't got anything here? I've got an idea for it. And they were so cool. They were like, oh, put down your idea. And they liked it. So they kept it in, and then it went to this boy band, and it went to #1 in Japan. And
do you remember the name of the boy band?
D-Side, they're called. The song's called Stronger Together. And yeah, and it was such a shock because I did it, and then about a year later I got a call saying, oh, it's going to be their first single. And I was like, oh my God. So it was great because then it gave me confidence in my writing. But it was because not every songwriter is going to be open to a session singer writing on it. People can be very precious, you know, but then that bit was the outro of the song, and it validated in my mind, you know, that it was something that I could do and pursue, and I love being in the studio, you know.
Because you just said that when you co-write with other people, you learn a lot. Could you maybe give an example of something that really stick by?
Yeah, I think like one person on their own, you have patterns of how you hear melody and rhythm. So say if I'm working with a guitarist or something, or a drummer, that they'll hear rhythm in a different way. Also working with people from different countries is interesting if English isn't their first language, because someone like say that doesn't have a full vocabulary of English will hear just the hooks and the melody. So sometimes writing in your own language, you'll love something because the words are great, but maybe the melody isn't strong or the rhythm isn't catchy, you know. So it's really interesting sometimes to work with someone from another country when they're like, this melody's nothing, it doesn't reach me, and I'm like, oh, but the emotion from the lyric, you know. So it's that's how I think it's helping me evolve a little bit and think of it, and also not writing something just for myself. It all comes from maybe like a life experience, but someone else's viewpoint maybe makes it more accessible for other people, you know.